Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the professor with Day Trading for Success. So today we're going to be showing you our brand new cool little Python indicator with the help of a subscriber. Also, we're going to be probably picking the stock to trade at the open. It's a heck of a day today, but mostly what we're going to be doing is trying to find a range, which is almost impossible in this volatile, politically charged stock market. But what we normally do is you try to find a high and a low range, trade within that range, long and short, small share size on a consolidating large cap, $25 billion market cap or larger, large cap, mega cap. And try to keep the shares, share size 50 to 100. Really, whatever what the trader can afford to do is what you do. I mean, people follow me and I know trade 500, 1,000, even 2,000 shares based on what they see me doing. But what we're doing here is you can watch me trade. You take your own trades, do your own due diligence. We're just showing something that can watch you trade. So you can't see me yet, but here I am, my headshot there. And this is what we're going to be trading on. I've kind of have a new left side panel here, which is again for an idea from a subscriber. Let me put this disclaimer on real quick. So I'm not a licensed financial advisor, guys. So anyway, this is the new indicator I was talking about that I'm going to be making available, if not today, tomorrow. I want to see how it works today. So it has how soon till the market opens, countdown, and this is going to change colors, supposedly. And then it has the clock. All these are individual things you can move around where you want on your screen, other than the name connects there. Actually, I think you can also change the size, so I can make that title a little smaller so it's not so much in your face, and then move this clock over. So these are cool little things. Again, first got the idea given to me, probably the clock in the nice clean area here. And then it has the date and the year over here. So all these move. So if you don't like them a certain spot on your screen, you can move them around. So I'll be making this available for free, if not on this video, on tomorrow's video. So you have to download Python on your computer, wherever you're using, and then you can input the script, and then you can make a shortcut and just click it every morning. And it should work for you just fine. I've been working on getting the bugs out because all kinds of things, like a black screen, rectangle screen was opening and all these things. But it seems to be working now. I worked on it over the weekend, so that's pretty cool. So you'll be watching me trade with custom indicators. Again, the whole idea about indicators are to give you an edge. And in a market like this, honestly, they're not very useful. Some people would say they're never very useful, but that's just not true, because everything that you do, every way you trade is based on some sort of historical data that you've looked at, right? So you're trying to figure that out based on a pattern, based on a moving average, based on a relative strength, based on just what has happened in the past, whether it be just a minute ago, a day ago, a week ago, a month ago, 5 years ago. You're looking for something. When you're scalping, you're primarily looking for something that just happened a few minutes ago, and you are watching the news as well for catalyst to see. So back to the point, if you can take all that information in and make your decision on a short scalp in just a few seconds, then you don't need any indicators. You're the man or the woman. You got it, But most humans cannot do that. So having an indicator with an arrow or a number that says, here's the data that's just happened. It's just common sense to have the ones that you want to use with the style of trading that you do. That's, in a nutshell, what an indicator is, why you'd want to use them. So I'll go over what we have just briefly here. This is a Thinkorswim. These are my custom coded watch list / scanners. And the first one, which is up here, that the clock is blocking, is the consolidation scanner, and it looks for stocks between $25 and $400, 100K volume per 1 minute chart. You can see I have an indicator here that shows you what the average volume is per Apple on a 1 minute chart is 226,000, taken on the last day of trading. It averaged those days. And that's a lot. You get that much volume in 1 minute, you're going to get the liquidity that you need to get in and out of short-term trades. So that's why that scanner's set up that way. It's also got ATR of over $2. So, it has to meet that criteria to come up on the scanner. So those would be the top ones that meet that criteria, right? And then the next watch list I have here, scanner, is basically the one that is, I have little notes down here, my headphones are blocking them. So let me move that over. It has the price of between $25 and $400 in ATR, which is the average true range of a stock that moves in an average 14-day period in 1 day, how much it would move, is 10K volume per 1 minute candle, 1 minute time period. So that's a lot less volume, but still gives you the liquidity. Because if it's less than that, you could be holding on to that scalp for a while, until it gets to where you want. And it says it moves at least 15 cents one way or another in 1 minute. And usually it's within 10 or 20 seconds. What I normally do is I look over at the ask or the bid. It can be either one. You look at it, the last two numbers across from the decimal. See, that just said 50. Now it says 60. In a split second, it moved 10 seconds on 10 cents on Apple. So you're looking for it to move 10 cents. Now this is pre-market, so it's a whole different ballgame. But so having a scanner that is already done that for you, and then finding the stocks that work for that is very, very helpful. Again, coded. Next one is coded to be 50K per 1 minute candle, but it has different restrictions on it. I call it more of like a mid-cap scanner because it's got it can be between $25 and $200. Market cap is only $2 billion or above. So that gets us more stocks. ATR only $1.50, and of course 50K volume per one candle. So that's going to give us other varieties. So every morning I'll look at the stocks, and then throughout the day, I've kind of made it smaller on the left panel here to see. I want to see mostly where it opened and where it is now. This is the current price mark, right? So it's not going to show open till we open, which is in 12 minutes and 57 seconds, as you can see right here. So I'll look at that, and I'll look for a couple things. Has it jumped a certain way past the open? So it's kind of telling us a bias of which direction it's going, up or down. In that way, it's good. We get a bias, right? Like, well, you probably want to trade that long today. You probably want to trade that short. But really, it needs to also do a second thing. It needs to have a jump, but it needs to be staying steady. So, like, say if this opened at right now, let's look at Apple. Where's Apple? Apple not on here? Apple. I've got Apple on a watch list over here. So Apple right now is 252, but yesterday was 247. So this is up, from what it was. So it's already going to show that it's long bias, but I'm confusing myself. Let me just say that again. You want to try to find a bias, but then you want to find the price consolidating and not really moving much, because then you've got that ceiling and that floor. You've got the low level and the high level, and it's just bouncing off those like big stocks do. Safety in those moves, right? So if you get stuck in a move, you know what the bias is. So it's like, hey, do I hang on? It's going to go back up because the bias is up. Do I hang on? Or is it going against you and because you didn't trade the bias and it's getting worse? It's like that tells you maybe I should just get out. But if normally on average, not I hate to use these, nothing's for sure, obviously, but on average, large caps move like a big snake in between those levels. So it does sometimes what I call channel hopping, where it'll break outside that ceiling or that floor and then start to do it again so you create a new ceiling and a floor. So you're constantly moving and adjusting with short-term data. That is the nature of trading, scalping large caps. This is not, I think it's going to go this way based on fundamentals and historical data, and then buying it and holding it like you might do on your phone on Robinhood. That's a different kind of trading. This is in the moment, within a few seconds, trying to scalp. And I can tell you that it works time and time again, every single day. Where it might not work is in this volatile market where we can't get those levels, where it just keeps shooting past them based on anything that comes out of the White House or right now Iran. What's going on. It's very difficult to get an edge these days. We did okay on Friday. We're only going for $100, $200 a day. This month's goal was to pay the average mortgage, $2,200 a month. We're already over that. And I'll show you where we're at right now. So we had one red day, and then it doesn't have the day here. I didn't get the new day here, but it was 400 and something on Friday. So we're over here. So we're way over what we need. I'll get that updated. I thought I had it updated. But anyway, so now, and we still have this many days, 7 days to trade. So I think we'll go a little higher. But basically, what the average yearly salary, the average for blue collar, average, not low, not high, average is about 65K. We don't need a lot of money a day, the 240 trading days on average, to make your entire year's salary for people that are making the average, right? So if you make $200 a day, you're basically having I don't know, I forgot that. It says it on my channel, but somewhere around $250 a day. If you can get it to $250 a day, most people can just quit their job and they can usually make it in about an hour, right? So if we're just going for $120 a day, you're paying your mortgage, your car payment, and a bunch of other things, and hopefully you're still keeping your job so you're not pressured into having to make that money every day. So that's our goal. Make a living day trading. Small, moving like a tortoise, nice and slow, small moves, keep it safe, get out at max loss, have a day trading plan, make sure you log your trades, all that stuff. I'm not going to go over everything there is to be a trader, but it's all about controlling your brain, and getting out when you hit your maximum loss. You need a maximum loss for trade, maximum loss per day. So guys, we're going to get right into what we're doing. That was my little entry. I think I'm going to watch Apple this morning to trade at the open. Now, I highly, highly recommend you don't trade at the open. So if you've been following news this morning, it's been all over the board because Trump made it a Truth Social post that said he was in negotiations with Iran, and it's been very productive, and it sounds like they're maybe going to open up the strait. I'm not going to go into the whole news, but it sounds like maybe the strait will be opened up. Sounds like. And then Iran came out right after and said, we have no deal going. At first, the market went straight up when that came out. You can see it if you look at this right here. Like, this is the Q, and here's the SPY. So this is when the news came out. Boom, boom. So, and then Iran came out and said, no, we don't have any deals. So who do you believe? You should be able to believe our president, but it's just because we know what he does is try to say things that manipulate things, whether that be a strategy, whatever. But because he's done that so many times in the past, you can't trust it 100%. It's terrible to say that, but you can't. This is your money. You need to be careful. So if it's really true, and I'm not trying to go political here. I'm just trying to think how to control your money. If it's really true, it should be a very long day today. It should be a very biased long today. And things are looking up, and we'll get back our 401ks, and everything will look up because things have been pretty doom and gloomy for the last week. So today I'm looking for a dip in Apple and then trading off one of these ATR levels. Again, I didn't get into saying, so on this, we'll have an average range of the last 5 minutes candles, and then what it predicts once you get in, what you should do. And then we have the Scalp Pro meter down here, which is going to really, it's like riding a surfboard. You're waiting, and when you see that, if that volume, if it dings and the volume's higher than it was before in the direction that it's moving, that usually means get on that wave and ride it for a short period of time. It'll give you the strength of it right here, and then inside the actual candles here, it shows you where that price action is, which is just an incredible indicator for short term. So I definitely recommend getting it. We have here also the chart biased indicator here. And all these things are links. If you want to get them, or if you code yourself, you can do them, but they're pretty cheap through the $1 Million Margin Club. And this is showing you what every other candle is doing and when you're about to come to it. So it's lining up the charts, you know, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and that might make a decision on which way you want to go. It's also got the buy sell oscillator. It actually gives you an arrow, and that's based on RSI. And then it's got the MACD, that's the white, and that's based on EMA, crossovers, divergence, convergence, divergence. It also has the overall market pulse, what everything's doing, QQQ, SPY, SMH for the stocks that we would trade here, and then the ATR lines. And when this opens up, the pre-market high, low, and center line will open up. All those help us create the short-term historical data that we need. I'm not going to get into marking where the stock has stopped and abruptly turned around, which I usually do on 5 minute charts, or 1 hour or 4 hour charts, or whatever it might be, or Fibonacci levels, because it doesn't make any sense the way it's just out of control right now. I think that the scalp and recoil, the strike and recoil strategy is perfect for today. Very short term, that's what we're going to be trading, whereas the stock strikes up one way, you go the opposite way. It's like a snake. It strikes, go the other way for the recoil, get out. You're just looking for 10, whatever this says, whatever your target is, 10 cents. Have a max loss though in case it keeps striking, right? So that's, nobody really knows, guys. There's no way when you're watching somebody that says they know that isn't trading live. They just say, hey, they look at a chart, when it gets here, do that, always do that. You always make money. Well, they're cherry picking. That's ridiculous. Can't be done. Nobody knows. And most likely they're selling you, of course. People trading live, you can get a lot more respect for, and there are some. I've been getting a list of more people are cluing me into a bunch of them, and it's great that they do that, so you can see the trials and tribulations of trading live. We lose all the time. You call it wrong all the time, because there is no real way to get it right all the time, right? There's no way. But we're trying to get an edge, and be right most of the time. More than 51%. Now I run it at about an 80 to 90% accuracy. I'm one of the lucky ones, that through many, many years of doing this, and I do think with indicators. But you can judge for yourself, and you take your own trades when you see me trade live on a live stream like this. Let me check my latency, guys, real quick here to see what we're at here. Wow, that's terrible. That's a terrible latency. So you're getting a terrible latency. I do not know why that's happening, but that's not good. Let me check it again one more time. Wow, it's like 8 seconds. Well, some mornings we're down to 3 and other mornings we're higher. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm hoping it reconciles a little better for you guys. I will try to call out the labels, the areas I'm looking for. I will be trading market most of the time, maybe bid and ask on this open. Again, I don't recommend that. This is no strategy at all at the open. I'm not trading day trading volume 4, which is the breakout. I'm just looking at the price level and the level 2, and I'm making an educated guess, because that's all it is. And you got to really be really control and have a stomach for risk. So we're going to keep the share size pretty low on this, and I'm hoping I don't dig myself a hole right off the bat. So I'll look for a dip, and then I have the news up just in case. But this is in this market, it's even more of a risk. It's even more. You know what? I'm going to lower my share. I'm talking myself into fear right here. So we have 1 minute and 11. See, this is a great countdown, and it turned red too. Theirs is doing the same thing, but I don't have the bell on. So I'm going to keep this up for now until we find something that we're going to trade, and then we're going to trade that consolidation in. That usually takes about 15 minutes, guys. This is an anomaly that I don't recommend you do is trade the open. But it can be fun if you're not that worried about your finances and what happens. You can keep your share size down to 1 share and have a good time. Again, up to you. We got about 30 seconds. So you'll see my my money come up here, red or green, and then I will determine on the fly. I don't really have a max loss. You should have one, but I'm just going to watch the price action. If this is really risky, because it could just dip right. It could dip $5 and just stay down there. So it's just, you don't know what's going to happen here. I think the news is good. There's pre-market is lit up on the 5-minute. The half and whole dollar lines are about to pop up here too. That's another custom script. So I'm looking to buy the bid on a dip. Let's see what happens. There's the whole and half dollars. There's the pre-market high right there. It's about to break it, looks like. There's a battle going on. Market magnets coming in, another indicator showing you the, well, there it goes. So there's the VWAP coming up, which is a good sign. Yeah, I'm going to try to get in that, guys. All right, so that's a risk. I like the fact that I saw the VWAP coming up just to try to get a short-term profit out of this. We're just going for something small, something like that. It didn't pick me up. That was just, it was a double digit. That's all I went for, so $11. That's how scared I got. Now we're only going for 120. Don't judge. Don't judge. What's he doing? Sorry if you hear my chewing ice. I grew up on a boat traveling around the world, a 66-foot schooner, and we had those clamp refrigerators that open, you know, big handles that open that were sideways loaded. And we used to get 100-pound bags of not really crushed ice, but, you know, cubes. And you just stick your plastic cup in there and go like that. And my mother, she was an ice chewer. So we all got into the habit of chewing that ice as we went around the world, and wherever we could get the big bags of ice, we would fill them up. So that was like a luxury on a boat. As was fresh water. You had 700 gallons on our 66-foot schooner, and we traveled all over. And you would stop at these islands and fill with well water, and you'd have those jerry jugs, and they just have those filters in the spout that are little plastic filters, and they would fill up with polywogs, and my mother would say, "Oh no, that's good water. Things are alive in it. That's great water." You pour those in the tank. There's definitely some logic there, right? You know, nothing, no chemicals if those things are living in there, right? But what are you drinking? You assume that your stomach can handle the bacteria that might be in there that live with the polywogs. Yeah, so I was just too worried to take a trade on this much, guys. So a polywog is like a baby frog, if you are wondering what that is, like when they're really tiny. Yeah, so it's just not doing much. So let's take a look at what's happened now. So there's the open. So NVIDIA's staying pretty right where it's supposed to be. MU is down. It's right where it's supposed to be. Tesla's up $3. So that's one to kind of watch. You know I end up at Tesla a lot. Palantir's up a few bucks. So this is the main one. I'm surprised Amazon's hitting the scan. Oh, because of the movie. Hail Mary. Yeah, I did the, 80 million over the weekend or something. I watched it too. I loved it. It was good. I had read the book first, and it didn't follow the book exact. If you're a reader and you have an imagination, I made my imagination way cooler than the movie. There's no way the movie could have matched what I visualized. But they did a pretty good job. So I do highly recommend that movie. And I really like Ryan Gosling. He's just a good guy. I think he's a good egg, so to speak. Looking further down here. Yeah, so Palantir's up, which would make sense with the war. So these are some of the... So I made a mistake on Friday, and I said MU had that debacle with the people selling stuff, and a subscriber pointed out my mistake. They were right. It was SMCI. I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. I misspeak. I think one thing and say another, but that's just me. So you got to live with the absent-minded professor. So I wanted to correct that. SMCI was the one that had the story with the 3 people that were illegally involved in shipping data to China. So that sent that stock spiraling down, not MU. MU was going down at the same time. So as I talked about it, it seemed like, yeah, that's the stock as I looked at it. But anyway, I was wrong. So MU is did not hit the scanners, which is interesting. It didn't hit those scanners. It's over here on my watch list though, and it's even money right now, 426. Did I miss MU? Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. MU's right there. Yeah. Okay. I was like, how did that not hit the scanner? So, so this now you can see what I'm seeing without me looking off screen because I have 6 screens around here, so you can see what I'm looking at here. Sorry for this delay, guys. I will call out my levels. Let me see. Is it still got a problem? Yeah, 8 to 9 seconds, man. Somebody had said, can I please turn on the closed caption so it can be seen in other languages? And I have this YouTube stream set for low latency, so it's faster, which should be faster than it is. If I turn that on, then it makes me put it on normal latency, so I can't do it. So I will try to remember to put it on. No, on the replays, when you go back to watch it when it's not live, you can set those for any language you want. But yeah, if you're trying to follow me live, then no, I can't turn that on because it'll make it even slower than it is. So that's the reason why. Oh, so this just switched to market closes in 6 hours. Okay, so yeah. I want this to just start an hour before, so I'm gonna tweak that, and I'll just slide that right off the screen. So that's not interfering anymore. So these are the 2 things that really this is the main thing right here that's easier to look at when you're trading in the moment, because you're kind of just looking in this area. So I kind of want to wait till I see something consolidating. So I'm babbling on a bit. That's 15 minutes in, so we can kind of set our ceilings and floors. I mean, it could be that it's Apple. Apple's VWAP went up, and now it's just kind of staying. This is where the bulk of the capital is. And really, these days, I'm really thinking about the VWAP. So story came out. I'm looking at Benzinga over here. No, that's not really that current. So 921 story, Israel official states that there is no end to this conflict and operations will go on, but energy facilities will not be targeted. Okay, that's interesting. Both sides have to agree to that. Stock market today, Dow futures surged 1,200 points as Trump orders 5-day pause on the Iran strikes following productive talks. Updated. Saying it's updated. Let me click on that story. I don't know why it lit up down there. Oh, because this thing is here. Okay. Yeah, that's not really anything that we can hang our hat on, because Iran is basically saying that didn't happen. But who's running Iran? Who's saying what? I think there's an internal battle there, which would totally make sense. Again, volatility to the market because of this. No way to really count on an edge. No way to really count on indicators except if they're very short term, which is kind of speaks to what we do, right? It's definitely speaks to what we do. So we want to get in that strike and recoil, and it's the hardest thing will be to pick a bias, which is a little bit of a safety net, but it's not 100% necessary. If you keep to your max loss, keep your share size low so you can't get in too much trouble, and then we try to eke out that $100-200, and then like a tortoise toward the finish line at the end of the year, we're making 25, 35, maybe as much as 60K. Just, you're just adding it. You don't quit your job. You don't, you just put it in. If you're on Social Security, what a great way to augment your income with very little risk if you can control yourself. That's all. Sound like I'm selling a course here, but I'm not. So, I do have books linked that I really believe in. Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas, The $1 Million Margin Club, Day Trading Volume 1 and 4, particularly, or the Candlestick Pattern Playbook. Tom Hogart, Best Loser Wins, another one. I'm actually reading another book now that was recommended. If I really believe in it in the end, I will recommend that. Right now, I'm having trouble with it. That I don't really believe in what's being said in the book, so I have to believe in it, or I'm just not interested in promoting it. Yeah, when I got out of that $11, that was pretty much, it just sat there. It would have been really hard to make much more. Actually, I would have lost if I held it longer. I would have had to wait all the way to here. So, it didn't make the move I wanted, so I was just like, what are you doing? I've got no data, just get out. And that's basically what I did. Got in, got out, because it wasn't making that big, like, up $3 like I thought could happen. So there was no sense. Wow, everything is just steady, other than Tesla. I guess we should go look at Tesla, because that's actually moving like crazy here. Now, the indicator that I was working on that had the biased, and you would see the label up here, right now I am not happy with it. So what I kept on it is I kept the 3 ATR levels, the quarter, the half, and the whole, and I kept the pre-market levels, which I am using on a regular basis as support and resistance levels, ceilings and floors. So wow, it's coming to the end of the half and whole dollar levels already, right? So right now I don't have that available yet, because I was looking for it to do a biased, and it's not, and it's not giving it. But it's really hard right now to get proper data in this market too. I mean, again, data is just going to be an edge from the way you see it. So we were talking about, and now that I've adjusted this chart, we were talking about, people were asking me about stocks that are fighting against cyber terrorism, PANW. That's flat today. CRWD down $1. FINT flat, and ZS flat. Why? Because they all went way up, and they were on the way up, and then this news happened, like maybe Iran won't be so evil, or continually try to hurt us and just back off. So they're flat right now. So, but they don't have the volume that I was talking about in the 1 minute. They don't trade that way. Wow, look at that. Look at what's going on with this. So these Tesla's today's movers, anything, not that you can really believe in Tesla news, but it unveils its Terafab AI chip. It's a big deal. That was at 6:46 a.m. That must be what's going on with this stock, if it's a catalyst at all. So this might be something to get on, guys. Let's take a look at this to see if we can get a dip and give it a try. So we'll look at whole and half dollars. It's not exactly the strategy that we're looking for, but we might be able to do the strike and recoil with a long biased. Yeah, I'll try to get in there. So I got in there, and I'm hoping it doesn't hurt me real bad here going down. 50 shares, the way Tesla moves, oh God, the second I get into it, that's what's going to happen. So I'm chasing the highs, what I was doing. So 380. Let's see. I have to decide now. Do I want to add share size or just take a loss? Add to get my price point down. I mean, the way it's moving, although the volume did go up as it was going down, so that's not news for me. So I'm going to hold this a little longer, but this is the biggest pullback it's had. Why? Because I got in it. Here comes, nope, this is good news. See that price coming in? Magnet went up. That's going to push that up. MACD crossover sent it down, but that's actually older data compared to this. The market magnet might push it up, so I'm going to hold into this a little bit. Now that's your ATR high. This is your high of day, that other dotted line there. If I get out of this, I'll just sell market just so I get out fast. And the fact that it's hasn't respected the magnet yet is slightly concerning to me. Yeah, I'm just going to get out. That's unfortunate. Now the puppet master can recover it because I'm out. Weird, huh? Just all of a sudden stopped right when I got in it. Hopefully a bunch of you didn't get hurt by that. I'm glad I got out because it's continuing to go down. Okay, try it again as it goes up. I did mark it. $81, $79.81, thinking it was going to recover here, but that it is not doing. I'll hold into it a little bit here. I'm not going to try to get it all back. I'm just going to try to get some of it back, because if you get too greedy, then that's when why didn't I just take it, you know? So I let it hurt me a little longer than I would normally go for a. It seems like I take the losses 3 times higher than the wins, but because I am usually 80-90%, I do okay. But I do hold into it. It's kind of part of my strategy. It's not a 2-to-1 type of strategy. My strategy is to hold in and average scale in, hold the stock longer, scale in on a recovery of my direction, thinking that I did get it right, but I gotta wait a second. So yeah, so this is good. I'm gonna kind of see if Tesla develops a ceiling and a floor here. Let's see with it. Man, nothing else is moving. They're literally at their open price. I think people are just afraid to call it. Palantir's up $5. As you can, I'm looking right over here, guys. So this kind of tells us Tesla's still the bigger mover on this one. Apple's even. AMD is even. That's another one I thought I might be good today. This is the one that didn't go down as much as the other stocks on this drop. Hood's up $1. If you want to go for a cheaper stock. Intel even. See, most of these I just will not trade. Wow, so that ATR level, that's the overall day ATR level, is becoming a ceiling or a resistance. So now if that stays, then we're going to look for a support down here. Right now we've got, if I did a smoothing level, which is not much to go by for sure, we're right around 79.50 to watch anyway. Let's watch that to see if it, you know, made a little tweezer move there and it tapped it back here. Let's see if that's any kind of a level. We're reaching right now. We need more confirmation. When we find these levels, they're not, you can't count on them for very long. It's short term. If we find them. I wouldn't even think about going long till down here right now. And I'd be a little afraid. See how the volume's starting to drop here too. Is it going to break that ATR? I'd rather stay long biased, frankly, but in this market, maybe that's just stupid. 947, new story. President Trump on Iran says, we have strong talks. We'll see where they lead. Have major points of agreement. See, that's good news. That was 947. 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago. So that should send stuff up right now if you're going to play Catalyst. Makes me want to take a long here. Sometimes the market takes a few minutes to react, but this could start to head toward new highs now. What about the rest of the market? Let's look at the SPY over here. That's on my watch list. It won't hit the scanners. They're kind of even. Oops. This is kind of what the SPY and the Q are doing right now. So they're at their ATR levels and the pre-market. That's pre-market high. That is the ATR high. Yeah, so they're at their highs right now, both of them. So that's interesting. Heading back to Tesla. Now if we get a dip now, I'd be definitely more inclined to get in before this level way down here. I would look for it. Wow. Well, we missed it. That's off that news, I think, guys. Is everything else going up? No. That's not market wide, as you can see from the open. We spot anything that's going up. Apple's going down. This might be mostly just on the Tesla news that it had itself. I'm hesitant to get in here. Really chasing it. I think I'd rather go short up here. Wow. Is there a new story? No. I say that because it's acting like there's a catalyst. So it could just be that original count. I want to pull back, and then I'll play the dip. I need a pullback here. Friday, it was like shooting ducks in a barrel, taking candy from a baby. All those sayings are terrible. I don't want to shoot a duck. But it was easy to call on Friday. Yeah, I'd be more inclined to take candy from a baby than shoot a duck, honestly. But I was, in my younger days, I was quite the hunter, though, but I don't do that anymore. I will never be able to make up for the blood I have drawn. The macho man. Here we go. Let's get a dip. So I look at even and whole dollars now. So this is half dollars. I mean, this is 81.50. That might be a good spot. Certainly the ATR high would be a good spot. But it doesn't look like it's going to come back, man. It's just like it's stopping at 82 even. Yeah, I'm going to go for it. 95. Okay. I feel like it's just doing a small pullback and about to take off. So I'm going to try to get in it again here. I got in it, but I mean, I'm going to hold it for a little bit to try to get back some of what I lost here. Again, we're really crap shooting this. Chasing something up, you know. Looked like it was going to go and then just pulled right back. See, the buyers just aren't high enough. Might have to hold deeper into this to give it a chance. Remember, you guys trade how you want to trade. I would tend to add to this if it went back down, but I just got out, so probably take 3 to 4 trades to get out of the little hole I dug because I'm rising more conservatively. I like this over here. I saw somebody sent me their setup, and I didn't copy all of it. I didn't put the news down here because it just cramped everything. He had the news down here. I have the news off to this. I have actually 2 news. I have one that's not linked, that's just on the SPY. So that's this one right here, right? So I can see upcoming stories. And then I have this other news here, which is stock specific, linked to whatever I'm on, so I can glance over quickly. And I need them to be bigger than the little area right here. And then I have Benzinga news over here as well, which is up. Now this is picking up all kinds of news over here, and I just put it on just newsfeed. I don't have all my other stuff up, and I have it enlarged so I can read it from a distance, but it's not really helping me much, to be honest with you. Those are the off-screen setups. I have my YouTube stuff on my left, 2 screens over here. Yeah, I was thinking about getting in as it dipped down. Okay, 92. I thought I was going to get it in the 80s there. I like the big dip. I was hoping for a recoil. It got up to 34 cents up, so that gives me about 40 cents to make a profit on if it goes back to where it was. I'll probably ride this deeper, guys, and add to it down here if it hits down here. Just take a chance for a bigger trade. 32. What is that at? That's at 31. So anywhere near 31, I think I'll add to 100 shares and get a better price point for the retrace back up if it gives me that chance, but it doesn't look like it's gonna. And then get green all at once. That's kind of what I want to do now, but I could get bigger red. I don't really have an exit strategy yet if it keeps going down, but I'll come up with one pretty quickly. So let's take a look right here. So yeah, well, if it passes that and breaks through it, that's where it gets scary, you know, because that's kind of was a little bit of a flat top as we came up to it, broke through it. We don't want to see it break back down through it, you know, which it seems to be threatening right now. Sellers didn't make it to the top, which is a good sign of the volume. And now we need this candle is going to tell us a lot. Higher buyers right here than sellers, but it just reversed. Yeah, I mean, might want to go over to another stock that's really consolidating without a bias, like Nvidia or Apple is like right where it was, and just start maybe playing a short bias in the general way the market is. There's a reversal sign with a rickshaw man on the 1 minute. No, I'm not restarting. Stop that. Wow, that was scary. Oh, it broke through it. Looking to add here. I want to see it go down a little bit more. Oh, I missed my opportunity to get a better price point there. Did I miss the opportunity? I did. I would be making a profit by now on this trade if I'd gotten that down there. Darn. So this acted like a support. Not 100% yet, but where's our VWAP? Is that way down there? Yeah. The fact that that's way down there isn't good. Again, trading short buy. Whoa, that was an algorithm. Look at that. No chance to get that price action. You'll see those from time to time. I have a really sensitive layout, but that broke through that VWAP all the way down through that half ATR. Starting to wonder if I should be going short bias now in this stock. He says, Trump says, I think it was the imminent threat that made this change. So he's taking kudos for himself. I don't think that's going to help to say stuff like that right now. but it's about his ego, as we know. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about playing this for recoil up. Still, retrace at this point. It's not a recoil anymore, unless we have a really long, drugged snake. Yeah. I'm at 92. I'm about 50 cents off with only 50 shares. So we're not in real danger here, but when we have low share size, it's hard to get back in perspective wise. But we're nice and safe. We can't take a big loss or anything. Really wish I would have doubled down now down there, scaled in. That was the RSI sending it down. That's what that arrow is. That's a custom indicator. Short term, it seems to work pretty good. I usually get out of my trades based on that, but not when I'm already in the hole. So, yeah, this trade was green for a second. I was actually thinking I had to get green for the day, but no, just green for this trade is where I should start. Okay, so it's going to give me another opportunity to average in here. I have to look at everything else to see if I want to take that opportunity. Look at 5 minute has that weird algorithm candle as green, and the 1 minute has it as red. Okay, I went for it. I'm bold. So now I'm down to 45 cents. So if it goes back anywhere near where it was a second ago, I'm in big profit. And that's why I did that, was looking for a retracement just back to that. But I really have to think about how far down I want to go on this trade if it doesn't come back. So I had a green profit there briefly. It wasn't enough for the game I'm playing here. Looking for a bigger move. I'm not going to add more than this, so. What's happening with everything else? And as soon as I start to see other stuff go down, I have to be careful. Give me a punch up. Give it a nice punch. Come on, a big boom. Started to go. Those are Those are alarms on the indicators telling me what to look at. Volume dropped. Volume drop going down, so that's good because I want it to go up. Oh, God. It just keeps... Okay, good. So that's most current volume coming in at a price level right there. That's the market magnet telling us there's a lot of people right here. So that's also going to be pulling the VWAP up. But more importantly, it pulls this magnet up, and that's like a springboard usually. Now, why would that work? Well, because other people read this data in different ways. This is telling you in the moment very, very quickly. So that's why it's designed that you can make really quick moves. It's called the market magnet. And if you learn to read it right, it more often than not, it gets you a profitable trade, you know. So again, it's starting to go up based on that. So I'm not going to overstay my welcome if it gets me any kind of a decent looking green. I'm just going to get out because I don't like generally how I'm just out of the target range here. No, it's stopping more at the 50 cents. It's not going up there. So that's why I wanted to drop below it, but it just hasn't gone back up there since I did that, which was right over here. So I just wanted to come up there one more time so I could get out. Look at the market maker, because that's what I'll get if I go market to get out. And I want to get out quick, so I will go market on a spring up. and just try to, I know I'll get some slippage, but I just want to get out of this trade, right? I don't like how it's settling down here. It's not good. You can't expect any big moves, you know, anymore. So a recovery is less likely as it takes so long to happen here. We're right at the magnet, which is good. It's what it's supposed to be doing. Now we just need something to spring it up. I might even take a lesser loss, honestly. I have a chance to have a much lesser loss right there just to get out of this because I don't like it. So I'm holding out for a green trade. I'm holding out. $2 there, maybe, if it didn't slip much. See, when it happens, it's like, but it's just about to go. So then you hang on to it, you know, thinking like, oh, I was so stupid to get out right then. There, I was actually green for a moment. More signs that it's about to break up. Jeez, just didn't. And it went right back down again. Give me a double-digit green. All right. I think I made a tiny bit of money. Yeah, I made a tiny bit of money. And I'm out of it, and I'm happy because I didn't like it. All right. That was a little bit of pain. Let's take a look at Apple. So I'm down by like, oh no, I got money on Apple. So I'm only down like $8 or something. Woo! Exciting. And I think I had just one bad trade, right? The rest of them on Tesla were good trades. So what do we got for levels here? And how slow are we moving? Let me check over here for a second. Yeah, that's only 5 to 7 cents. Yeah. All right, I'm going to start that again. It's 50 cents. How fast will it move? It went to 55, 57, 7 cents in just a few seconds. Yeah. So that made me want to change the share size to 100. And then see. So we're below the market magnet levels. The overall market is going down now. New thing came out 10:04. President Trump on Iran oil says oil says the price will drop like a rock as soon as there's a deal. That was 10:04. 10:02 says that we're on 15 points of agreement with Iran. They have agreed to no nuclear weapons, maybe joint leadership. Wow. That's good news. I mean, why isn't the market going up based on that? I think it's his credibility is shot is the problem. You got to hope after all this that there's no nuclear weapon threat. Jeez. We're in it now, so you need to accomplish that. We're in it now. No more loss of life. Get that deal going. A safer world, we think, and then maybe help them recover from the bad stuff. That's just my general opinion about things. My opinion is I don't think I would have gone in that war, but you know, I'm getting very close to becoming political, but I like the stock market to be calm. That's almost all my decisions since I'm a trader start with that. Obviously, I don't want anybody to die anywhere. I'm just saying, like, when you have all this indecision, what strategy can you possibly use to trade? Which is, you know, what I enjoy doing. So we're fading now on Apple, so I don't know if it's tradable. It has to find a level. Unless we keep retracing and going down like we did on Friday. Everything's down a little bit now. MU's down $4. Nvidia's down $1. Palantir's the only one that's up right here. Well, not the only one, but Tesla's up still. Amazon's up a couple bucks from that movie, huh? Go figure. What's the volume on that? I can't believe that's even moving. Let's take a look at that. Let me just look at this first. 71. Wow, that's actually got volume. All right, let's see. That's a potential. Let's see what that looks like. I don't normally trade this because we don't usually get the liquidity. It's a long biased. Magnet's down here. It's underpriced right now anyway, generally, I feel. Let's take a look at the day on Amazon. I'm just not used to trading Amazon, so we're down in here. So we're way down from where it has been. You know, not its low or anything, but we're right at this candle here, so we're right in this area. Kind of doesn't really help us much. Short-term news is all we really want to rely on. If I did a smoothing level, probably right around there, which is right near the pre-market high. That might be one to go long on a dip. I'd keep it at 100 shares. That's how I would trade this for me. But it is fading down, so let's look at the bigger picture. What's the 5-minute doing here? I think our big money is going to be in the afternoon. I don't think the morning session is going to afford us much here. We need a clear direction of stuff. Yeah, so the 5 minutes coming down and settling here, so which is showing this right here. So if this holds this and doesn't keep making lower lows here, then we're off to the races here. 212 might be a good. That's 212 right there. Let me mark that a little darker. Wow. So getting in there would have been good. So I think if it comes back up here on the high, I'm going to recoil down. So 212's anywhere near over 212.50. I'll try a recoil short. 212.50. Just because what goes up must come down with that snake strike. Although here market magnet says up. That's what just happened. So that means there's a lot of shares coming in here wanting this to go up. Magnet pulled up, should be a springboard. Only because of emotion. That's the only thing this is telling us. What just happened, other people see it, they go, hey, look, it's going up. Let's do that. Hey, don't start another fight. Don't do it. God, I got a pixie bob here. She's like a friggin' lion. She's part bobcat is the thing, and then she sees other cats sometimes as predators. Like she's a predator. Prey, I mean. It's like, calm down. And the Siamese is a badass too, so it's like she doesn't care. These pixie bobs have, like the 7 toes on every paw, 6, 7, and their paws are like the size of catcher's mitts. So it's like when they get in and start doing that, they can do serious damage. There's a part of me that's like, yeah, look at that, but then I don't want the other cat to get hurt. If there was real prey, then you'd be like supportive, but no, another domestic cat, no, it's not a good idea. So, look how cool that pixie bob is, tearing apart that other cat. What not to think. I love the cats here in the studio. I'm a cat lover. I'm a dog lover too. I just love animals of any kind, really, except animal people. Guys, I'm looking as I chatter here. I mean, it looks like we got another level here, maybe. This is sort of a smoothing level to take a short at. Maybe 212s where we should be going long, but it was just here a second ago, so I'm looking for a little bit more pattern for an edge here. Leo signs reseller agreement with Skyward. That's an Amazon story. Amazon Theaters, 927. Highest opening for the 2026. That's Project Hail Mary. It's what's driving this entire move, in my opinion. Somebody in the studio will correct me and say, in your opinion, like they disagree, but they're not necessarily disagreeing. It's like, everything's my opinion, did I say? I don't think I need to qualify it, right? But he's got me qualifying it now. I think I need to say when it's not my opinion and someone else's opinion. Yeah, I'm going to go for short there. I'm going to take a short there. I'm going to look for a recoil here. I'm prepared to add to this as it gets up here, if it gets up there. 66. Just waiting for some kind of move here, guys. Looking for it to drop below the 50 cents for a little bit more definitively than $1. Okay. Instead, it's going up. It's the high is 68. It's going to break it. It broke the high. Not enough for me to add to it. Not yet. Now, scaling in is something that I do because I'm really only in 25% of my position. It might not be for you, you know, because you have a greater chance at a bigger loss, obviously. Have I been hit hard doing this? Oh, yeah. I have been hit hard doing this. Okay, so now we're looking to buy on the dip down here. So see if it stopped at this level again, which is kind of a stupid level, but not if it works. You just don't know, you know, what might be respected. I like to mark them out as guidelines, you know, only, because you're just looking for a short-term move. So even if it recoils, you know, we're looking for 10. Well, right here, it's got a 16-cent recoil up, 15-cent down. I love it when they're even like that. You could go either way, and the spread's pretty tight here. I don't usually trade Amazon, so this is a little weird for me, but I'm trying to get to know it. I went ahead. Now I'm at 62 going in. I thought I was going to get it. The way it was moving, I thought it might hit 70. All right. These are little baby trades. They got me green for the day, but I think our big money is going to be in the afternoon, guys. I'm planning on coming back. That's the plan. So it made a new high. I'm also trying not to fidget. I'm getting lots of complaints, not just a guy. I've got 3 complaints like, you move your charts around too much. You're driving me crazy. Okay. They are right. I watched and they are right. And I think it's just I'm filling time to talk, and it makes me fill time on the chart because I think I didn't do that when I wasn't streaming. I wasn't doing that all the time. So it has something to do with streaming. You know, that's what I've realized. So I've just got to put my hand down, walk away from the, in essence, walk my arm away from the mouse. I'm trying. I'll try, guys. Looking to get in at the 32 now. Okay. I got in at 31. Okay. So I'm hoping that it's just going to go right on back. Here's some good price action coming in. Maybe a little bit bigger trade this time. So it was all the way up here, maybe 30 cents or something into the 60-cent range. Kind of looking for like the 60-cent range. A little bit bigger trade. I got to wait it out. MACD's sending it down. So that's not good. Pull my hand away. Just wait it out. I'm at 31. It's down to 22. 11 cents off. I have no compunction adding. No problem adding to this share size. I would probably wait for it to get down here to 1173 zone. Pre-market high areas where I would add big time, I think. Here we go. We're finally going to get a decent trade here. Yeah, there we go. 43 bucks on that. On Amazon's fun. You know why? Because it's just slow, you know. At no time did I really feel afraid there. Like it was just going to keep going the wrong direction. Yeah, looking nice. I remember trading Amazon. You couldn't trade it because it was so boring that you would just sit there. You know, you would just sit for 3 cents, 3 or 4 cents. So it was, you know, you'd be hard to make 50 bucks if you traded for 2 hours, you know. So at least we're on a green run, if I haven't jinxed myself. So next entries, again up in the 60-cent range to go short, which we're there right now. Let's see if it punches higher, because it's continuing to punch a little higher. So I want to get it each time I sell. I want to get a little higher. I'm not going sell ask because I just want to make sure I get in, because it's not slipping very much. I mean, our spread's tight. So I kind of like to see it get into the 70-cent range to go short 212.70 something, or go long back down at the 212.30 range in the 30s. Then if it dips, it's got to dip a long way to hurt me. There's 42 cents on the market maker. It's kind of slowing down here. The volume's slowing down here. Let me check the stories. U.S. executives from Apple, you know, like revamp the push into the world's second largest economy in China. What's Apple doing? It's just sitting there for now. But that story just came out 10. Yeah, that's 10/21. You just never know what's going to affect things. So you got to watch them. Is Apple about to climb? Very slow. How fast do people see the news, and then how much will it really affect them? Just to get an edge, guys, that's all you can do. You got to question everything and then be able to react pretty quickly, have your max loss in place. I can't stop teaching. I just, you're here to observe me trade, but teaching is, I'm going to get into that. So that's a recoil opportunity is the way I see it. When it drops big like that, go for the recoil back up. I did. Got just a little bit of money out of that. Didn't overstay my welcome in case it's going to strike continually. You get a quick recoil, then you assess. Is it going to continue to go down with more strikes? It doesn't have any new news. Yep, so I could have just stayed in that. You see a big move like that, you know, that's not what it had been doing, then take pause. Look at the way it's recovering now, huh? So this is definitely a flat top right here. This level that I marked before. It's right at the top of the market magnet too. So let's see, it broke through it a little bit by almost, you know, 8 cents or 7 cents to its high. But it's a good level to trade short off of, I feel. Yeah, I'm going to take that now. All right, so I got in at 75, looking for a recoil down. I'm holding out for more than $8. Take that. So slowly getting there. Yeah, loving this action. Little tiny baby steps, getting up to our goal. I think we found a good one. Slow and steady at the wheel. Big wheel on a ship. You just like slow and steady. Take in on that jib. Winch that jib in. Find that treasure. When I was island hopping, and one of the islands we went to, I grew up in the Bahamas for the most part, but I used to always treasure hunt. We have treasure maps, but I was always looking for Henry Morgan's treasure, and thought I found it many a times on the caves in Morgan's Bluff in Andros in the Bahamas, and I found bones and stuff. I never found a treasure. Of course, if you think about news these days and what they really know about pirates, they didn't bury their treasure. They spent that shit like right off the bat. They're not going to go put it someplace they may or may never get back to ever again. Totally makes sense when you think about that. It's just the romantic, you know, the books, Robert Louis Stevenson, they're romanticizing what pirates might do. But it doesn't really make sense. There was a recoil there. I almost grabbed it. But it was fun looking for it, looking for the treasure. To a lot of caves where you go way into the caves, you'd be crawling on all this bat guana, getting it all over you, thinking, this is fine soil. It's not soil. And then you get to an area where there's nothing but water, but you could dive under the water and come back out up in the cave elsewhere. Now that's exciting. You know, we always had lights, and I wasn't alone by any means. Okay, I'm going to go for it there. I'm not going to wait for the big dip down. I'm just going for a quick recoil off that level we had been trusting to see if we can still trust it. I got it at 32. Still feeling very confident. Getting less confident. 212 I will add. If it gets to 212, I'm going to add to my share size. Wait, let me just make sure there's not a new story here. No, okay. Losing all my profit. Losing all my profit. Is it going to get down there or not? Nope, looks like it's going to retrace at this point back up. Unless we have a drug snake. It keeps threatening to get down there. Let me take a look at this bigger picture here before I start to get into more trouble. It's a pretty big red 5-minute. There's our VWAP. VWAP's coming up. Yeah, I'm gonna, if it drops below 212 particularly, I will add. I'm right here. I'm poised to add. Got a cushion. I'm gonna go for it. It's not moving real fast, so see if it gives me an opportunity here to get a better. It would take my my position down to like 212, 15 cents, 14 cents. Take it. All right, so I'm at 14 cents, and now I could be in big trouble. We'll see. Bigger, it could go down. It could get red faster for me. This time I truly am adjusting to look at a bigger picture. I'm not fidgeting. We're looking for support on the whole dollar here. I bettered my price point position in hopes of that. We've got a rickshaw man turning it around on the 1 minute. We've got price action coming in above it. So there are multiple signs. Sellers dropped off here, as you can see. Multiple signs that it will recover. So I'm feeling fairly confident about it. Could be green there. There's a lot of logic that if you're in a losing trade and you average into it to get, that you're just trying to get out of trouble. So the minute it's green, just get out. You're not going for a bigger profit. You're just making sure you're not red on the trade. And there's a good deal of logic in that. These steps made me want to hold it, the signs here, but that was a very low green candle recovery. So I really need to see more recovery here than what we just got. So that's 2 now. So this could be the beginning of a little bear flag. So you got to be careful. We just crossed the 30-minute. What's it going to do? This was the 30-minute line. Right now, 30 minutes shows red. Yeah, that wasn't good. I didn't see that at first. And even though I've got it right on the chart, I did not pick up that we were crossing a 30-minute. I want to get out of this trade, and honestly, I don't trust it. It's making a new price pattern here. Even a lesser loss, I might get out of this. Just don't trust it. Is it going to hold that 212 now? One more chance. No. So now I got to make a decision to take a bigger loss or price action above here wants to pull this up, boy. There was a lot of signs it was going to go back up, so I held it deeper. Here's your pre-market high. I swear it seems like there's news. The way it's acting. It's really within its swaling range here. I could go to 400 shares. It's a thought. I do not like the look of that fade there. Really needs to show me some recovery here. We had a good one at the bottom there with that hangman. It was a pretty high down here on this volume that it was mostly buyers. So that was good. So we're back to a lesser loss if I want. One more punch up. There we go. I'm just going to take some money there. Yeah, watch it go boom. It's like you could have had $100. So what do we got today? We are 68. We have a Tesla loss. We have an Apple win. So we're at 68. I kind of thought we were better than that. I did not know that, but what are we looking at? God, Nvidia's still just right where it opened. MU's down a couple bucks. Tesla's up $10 now. It kept going. Palantir's up $6. Yeah, that Amazon move kind of broke my confidence a little bit in trading it for a minute. It's really consolidating at the 212. We got out of it green, so that's. I think the big money is going to be in the afternoon. Because it's lately it seems to be really volatile after 2 p.m. East Coast time. And I think we can call the day's biased easier. Now, of course, I wish I was holding that, but oh yeah, let me lower that share size before I forget. I will go short again off this if it happens up here. So this is kind of our channel. Looks like 1266 down to 212. It did hold it. Temporary short-term channel right here. If it goes back up. So I'll stick it out a little longer on this stock. A little bit low. There it goes back down though. It didn't really recover, huh? Yeah, I'm not going to snag a recoil right away off of that. Now I'm looking, what is that level mark? That level's not marked on a real lot there, is it? The 73. Maybe the euphoria of Hail Mary is wearing off and it's going to pull back down to reality. You can see it pre-market, it came way up. So, yeah. Any new news on it? Still got the 1021 story about executives from Apple to Eli Lilly revamp their push into the world's second largest economy at China Development Forum, CNBC story. On this stock, now just Leo signs reseller agreement with Skyward. I don't even know what that means. What's AMD doing? There's an AMD story right there too. So as you know, if you've traded with me for years now, I am not a catalyst-driven trader, okay? I want consolidation, but in this market, I'm finding myself look at the news a lot more than I normally would look at the news. And am I just stupid? I do not see AMD. Wow, so it fell off the scanner. I do have it up here. I need this to find its zone again. I'm going to move away from it. Let's take a look at AMD for a second. 5 minute first. It's up at its pre-market high, between its pre-market high and the ATR. That's a good looking 5 minute chart. Look at the VWAP right there. So this is good to try to trade, I think. We'll open the 1 minute in a minute. Let me look at how much it's moving. 5 to 7 cents pretty quickly. It's really consolidating at this level. Okay, I saw 8 cents there, so I'll zoom in and take a look at it. Yeah, it's a nice little snake pattern there, huh? Moving the snake along here, so get the idea where I might have got the strike recoil verbiage from. So let me set some potential levels. I mean, that is an interesting smoothing level because it tapped here a bunch of times, maybe. Now it didn't make a higher high here. It dropped off, so that makes you think short bias. Chip stocks gain as Trump hits pause on Iran strikes. 925. That's an old story. Yeah, 10 war-beaten stocks rally Monday on Trump true stocks despite Iran denial. Again, you don't know who to believe. You'd like to say you believe our president. I can't. No political statement there. Just stock market logic. And the reason why is because he'll even say it. He says things on purpose that aren't true to affect things. So maybe he's just trying to affect things, you know. So you can't know. So don't send me a nasty email. Wow, so it looked like it's going to respect this level again. But certainly, you certainly can't trust Iran either, so I'm not saying that. So certainly cannot trust Iran. So I don't know what to trust. And that's why short-term data is very helpful. All right, I've got this so I can see it better. Yeah, I want to see where's the bottom of that swale. Yes, this is about it right here. Go long off the ATR and let's look at the market. Red all the way across right now. People losing their confidence now. In the afternoon, we might be able to go really short biased if that's the case. You know, look for the setup, take your time, don't lose the money you have, and if you get to your goal, stop. QQQ is hitting a support level, your ATR high. Here's your bigger indices here. This is hitting a support level here. The SPY is not really. VWAP's pulling up slowly toward them on both of those. So. Yeah, I would tend to go long at this ATR high, and it's moving slow enough where 100 shares are certainly not very risky. And then I'm gonna be stopping soon because I'll come back for the afternoon. I got to get a bunch of stuff done. I have another session to trade, and 3 sessions a day it seems, with working out and all my other stuff I got to do. So I'm going to work on this script so that this part here doesn't say that long till close. And once I get that fixed, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. What did I press? Okay. There we go. Then I'll make it available for free on one of the videos, so stay tuned. And then the biased indicator, I went back to the drawing board on it, but I have one that just has the levels right now. I'll get them out. They got to work. I can't fulfill the contract for the MMC if it doesn't work. So the problem when you code, if you code any on ThinkScript, the platform is very, very much like a dinosaur for coding. It will not allow you to do things. So you can come up with these great ideas, and then it won't read the data that way. So you have to sit there and tweak and tweak and tweak and work around all their issues, and then maybe it will work. And then the other thing is, one day it works, and the next day it doesn't. And I've been coding a long time, and it is one of the more, it's easy in some ways, simple, but when you try to make it force to do something, you can't cheat with it. It just doesn't have the capability to do really cool stuff that I'd like to do. So you got to go in the back end and do stuff they don't want you to do, and then you can get into trouble. And of course, coding's so much easier now with AI. Anybody can really do it. Just be careful if you're trying to sell it, because if it doesn't work, then you can get sued. Well, it didn't go down to the ATR. I spoke too soon. Excuse me. Well, we're green, not where we want to be, but if I don't see something calling out to me here, I'm going to stop and we'll come back. Looks like it's on its way back up, guys. Here's your 5-minute. Didn't make a bull flag. It broke the flag. Almost made a teacup. Those are both reversal signs, but they're on a 1 minute, so you can't trust them as much. I'd like to see it break back this magnet, reclaim the VWAP, and then in here, then as you get up here, it might be worth trying to recoil it down, but it's going really slow. I'm watching it. It's just like, man, it'd be really hard to make money on this. Let me switch for a few more minutes. I'm going to go back to Tesla. I was just seeing how long I'd have to hold AMD, and I'm like, no, that's too long. There's our 150 and 200 moving average. Wow, Tesla's outside the whole and half dollar range. But boy, it did consolidate up there at 384, huh? Look at that consolidation. Let's drop that to 50 shares. Let's try to get this red gone. I hate having red on any stock. As you know, that's a pet peeve of mine, sometimes into the point of stupidity. Because if the trades aren't here, then you can't do it. You know. All right, so there's sort of my levels I'm looking at, sort of, maybe, kind of. Let's see. VWAP way down there. Not exactly racing to it, huh? You can see I kind of made a channel, but I don't know. So there's your ATR high. That would be a way better place to go long at than up here. But short here is good. And then 385 would certainly, you think, turn it around. Yeah, I like the idea of going short up here. Seems like it hit its, you know, we were dealing with a gap which is all the way down to 350. It wasn't an official gap, like there was just nothing there because it had two green candles, but just the distance it moved, being treated by a gap by most traders like a gap. And it was just falling, went all the way down to 360. It got very close to it. I don't know what happened to watch list 3. So that's 384 is what I'm looking for. Up into 384 level to go short. That's what I'm looking for. Wow. Took it. I'm going to take it. Okay, so now you might think that's counterintuitive, but I am looking for the recoil. That's what I'm looking for. And what I'd like is a big one so I can get rid of all that red at once. Of course, it makes a new high because I'm in it. Oh, come on. Somebody please tell the puppet who I am. Put that, please. Any stories here? No. Oh dear, it's going to hurt me. It's going to take away all my profit. That is the high, so there's no reason to go back and look. I was looking to add, that's why I'm hovering over the sell button, but it pulled back right when I was thinking about it. Break that level, let's recoil. More like a retrace now. Come on, you can do it. Volume's going up a bit as it's, yeah, there's the volume coming up on the sellers. So they're wanting, a bunch of people want to send this down. I'm looking at the level 2. Yeah, there was a whole big chunk to send it down. Let's see what happens. A little bit, not enough to, there we go. All right, I got out quick just because I didn't trust it. But that one trade almost got me not red there, so that's good. I'll take a look at maybe a couple more here, guys. So support level, I drew one lower, but there's actually a little bit right here too, right at this whole dollar here, 83. That's a potential. See how many times? That's a potential area to look at for support. You look at the 5 minute, nothing drastic happened there. You can get lost in this micro real easy, like, oh my God, it's going straight up. Didn't go straight up. But you can see if it hit that level, the 83, then 82.50 would probably be the spot where it's like, okay, are you adding or are you getting out? You know, if you went long, I'm saying, and it kept dropping. So you do have another level of potential support. That tweezer move right there, so that's the potential support right there. So you've got this sort of smooth level, then you have a tweezer level, and I'm looking to see the bigger picture. The VWAP's way down there, so you really should be more short biased. Magnet's way down there. So again, up here, and it hit the, I was talking when it hit that level. That might have been worth trying again up there. As you can see, that would have been a good trade. And I was talking. Just when I realized that you still want to be short biased here. It'd be better to go short than long, in my opinion. Sellers were weaker. Buyers were even weaker. They really weren't that. See, the volume was higher. There was a battle. There was very few more buyers than sellers right here on these last two candles, which is why it looks like a tweezer. See all the price coming in here? That's going to pull the VWAP up and the market magnet up. The VWAP's creeping. Looking at other data there. Pop. This is about to pop up, the magnet. There it goes. So most of the people are now up here, which gives this some support, which can work as an actual springboard, like I said, especially as you see this pull back. That's other ideas where I'm sure I got the idea of the strike and recoil. The market magnet often looks like that. You see a strike recoil or strike recoil, you know, depending on which way it's going. And then here's the snake, you know. Venomous. Yes, it's a venomous snake. Yesterday I was mentioning that the Puppet Master looks good in red, you know, but, you know, he can look good in green too. Just saying. Not a nice green suit. Yeah, I don't think I want to go long, guys. That's the level that I was going to go long at. Just saw that magnet come up here. I don't know. It's a pretty good level to go long at. Let's see if it drops down below it. I'll take a stab. 06. It was on the ask though. I'll try it. 13? Come on. It was at the worst. I hit it when it was 04. That was a terrible fill. I just tried to get out. I lost $2. I just wanted to get out because I didn't like the position. Yeah, I hit it at 04 on the mark, and it gave me 13, so that was terrible. And you may be asking, why don't I hit the bid and the ask? Because they don't get filled, and the strike and recoil is fast, and you want to get in and out. But if you get that kind of slippage, okay, I'm fidgeting with the chart again. Slow down. Okay. You got me a position. That was already a recoil, but who knows where you would have filled me. It's really stopping at 383. It's really, that's a support level for sure. I just keep stopping there. Wow, it took so long to fill that. So I'm at 8302, hoping for a recoil up. Mostly just wanted to get that green. All right, so what do we got now? 94. All right, so I'm going to call it a day for now, guys, but I'll be back in the afternoon, so be careful. Don't get yourself red. Play the levels and do your own due diligence. All right, I will see you guys soon. I'll be back in the afternoon. Go green, guys.